Hello, good late morning. Good morning, and welcome to this taste challenge. This will be Monday because I know I'm not going to feel like doing it Monday. All right, so this will be Monday's slot. We have from 1880, not 1980, 1880. And it's from Alberta province in Canada, from Alberta Distillers Limited. Windsor Canadian blended Canadian whiskey made with only premium grains and glacial-born waters. 3 years old, bottled in Illinois. Windsor, named after Windsor Castle of the British royal family. There's the crown for the Dominion of Canada. There's a shield, 2 lions, product of Canada, Windsor Canadian, imported Windsor Canadian, blended Canadian whiskey, a supremely smooth whiskey made with waters born in the clear, clean Canadian Rockies, supremely smooth, blended and distilled under strict supervision of the Canadian government. Seems like they're trying to make a certain point there. All right. Making a certain point of emphasis. Got this for $10.99 at Winn-Dixie on United States Highway 61 southbound, Destrehan, Louisiana. $10.99. Competitor, Crown Royal, the #1 selling whiskey, Canadian whiskey in the world. But this is not the original Fine Deluxe Crown Royal. No. This is the Blender's Mash, introduced in 2018 as Bourbon Mash, but renamed quickly to Blender's Mash. But I got a bottle that says Bourbon Mash. I got a 2-year-old bottle. No age statement. Has a nice label. It feels like some kind of like beaded leather. That's what I was trying to say last time. Beaded leather. I won't need labels on these glasses because I won't need tags because this one is a lot darker than the Windsor. I'm not going to get them confused. Now Sunday morning I plan to, hopefully it'll happen, plan to do the last one, Blender's Mash versus Black Velvet. So Black Velvet from 1951 versus Blender's Mash from 2018. Oh well, and then I'll be on to Scotch. You probably thinking, oh man, I'm ready for some Scotch. It's been too long since you reviewed it. I think it's been too long since I've been dealing with Scotch whiskeys. I did the John Barr solo review. So I'm planning to go with John Barr versus everybody else. John Barr Reserve Blend. I don't have the red label. I can't find it. I hadn't been looking for it, but I hadn't never seen it. Copper. Yeah, I've gone through 90% of the Windsor Canadian, but I've been dealing with it for a few years now. It's been doing well. Has that honeycomb cereal aroma and taste. Kind of like, what's that other one I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, Canadian Club. And if you research the ownership of these products, it'll make sense. Brown bottle, that's good. That's what you want. Brown bottle, better than the clear bottle. It doesn't make a big difference like with beer, but it is better to get brown. Good, even pour. Gold. Copper. How long is the Blender's Mash, Bourbon Mash, Blender's Mash aged? They don't say, and you'll never find out, I don't think. It's at least 3 years, but it could be 5, 6, 10. I don't know. I doubt it's 10. But I just don't know. It's a blend, so it could be year-old whiskey blended in with 20-year-old whiskey and all different levels. But you see, they don't want to give an age statement because what if they use some 1-year-old whiskey and they want young grain whiskey for whatever reason? Well, then they would have to call it a 1-year whiskey, and it would be against the law in Canada anyway. It have to be at least 3 years. So they'd have to age that for 2 years in a wood barrel. But they probably have some 3-year age Canadian whiskey in there, and so they don't want to call it a 3-year, especially if they might be using 5 or 6, 9, 10-year age whiskeys. So they just don't put an age date, because you have to go with the age of the youngest whiskey in the blend. It doesn't matter how old the other ones are. It could be 100 years old age for 100 years, and you'd have to call it a 3-year-old whiskey. And that's the law for all the countries. Okay, this is the blender's mash, bourbon mash, because it smells like charred oak. It smells like bourbon. It smells like, well, not extraordinarily different than Jack Daniels. Not the same, but not that different. I didn't say this was a bourbon. I said it was bourbon mash. It's Canadian whiskey. Legally, it can't be bourbon unless it's from the United States. But I know what they were trying to do with this. They were trying to make a bourbon and not technically call it a bourbon. Charred oak, vanilla. They did a good job too with that. Curious to see what the number 2, the second issue is in the blenders series, if they ever do it. Because I've said in the past, Diageo has a bad habit of starting projects and they don't get finished. Heineken too. A lot of sweet corn. Not quite the same as the last one, but as that ancient age. No, what am I saying? The rich and rare reserve. Rich and rare reserve. But it's not that different. It's different, though. Corn and some rye spice. Made me cough. Okay, so this is the Windsor Canadian. I can open my eyes now. Yeah, gold, gold. Got a couple of people watching. Okay, this is what Alberta, plastic bottle, but I got the glass. You wouldn't want to travel with that thing. All right, a light, delicately flavored whiskey. Windsor Canadian is Canada's smoothest, they claim. Windsor is made from premium grains grown near Calgary, Alberta, the capital of Alberta, right? Combined with the pure, clear, glacial stream water of Western Canada, and aged in the dry Canadian Rocky Mountains. Tasting notes. Bright golden color. Said that. Packed with peppery spice. I said that. And rich caramel taste. I didn't say that. And dry vanilla. I did not say that. Soft and pleasant finish. I'll go along with that. I haven't tasted it yet, but I will. What are some other products from Alberta Distillers? Summit Vodka. Never seen it. Or I probably could find it. Alberta Springs. Rye whiskey. Oh, 10-year aged. I know, I never heard of that. Never seen it. I'd like to find it. Alberta Pure Vodka. Never seen that. Banff Ice Vodka. They do a lot of vodka, apparently. 3 vodkas and 3 whiskeys. Alberta Premium. 100% rye whiskey. 100% Alberta Premium. Beautiful. Like to run across that one. Blender's Mash. A classic whiskey style with famous smooth finish. Corn heavy whiskeys. Oaky notes. Yeah, you know, like bourbon. All right. You know, like bourbon. Taste time. I was going to be cutting the grass at this very moment, but it started drizzling or misting, and I'm not into cutting wet grass at all. I've got many hours to do it. Oh, look, nice flower on that vine. Beautiful magenta, purplish pink flower. I mean, I've never gotten it wrong yet. And all these taste challenges, I'm not going to get it wrong. I will not get it wrong. It's not going to happen. Now, if I was going up against bourbons, all those Kentucky bourbons I have, oh yeah, I'd probably get it wrong along the way. But no way against these Canadian whiskeys, other Canadian whiskeys. No, charred oak, light sweet corn, nectar, honey. Yeah, honey. Some fruitcake fruit like cranberries dried, the dehydrated things. Yeah, it's great. $27.99 a bottle. Is it worth it? Heck yeah. So $28. Let's round off even. Versus $10.99, 11. 28 versus 11. Is this really going to be a $17 better? I doubt it. It'd be better. I don't think it'd be $17 better, but it tastes like Canadian whiskey. Corn, rye, wheat. It's just like one after the other. Corn, sweet corn, then rye, peppery spice, and wheat, the bread dough. It's probably malt whiskey. Might be barley whiskey instead of wheat. Barley malt. Malt whiskey. I'll get it. It's very nice. I mean, it's been on the market since 1880. 140 years. I'm sure people don't buy it because they hate it. Is it a big seller? No. I don't think so. I can't even get it in this town. I bought it out of town. I can't get it in this parish. None of the towns in this parish. We don't have counties in Louisiana. We have parishes. Sometimes people will ask me, what does that mean when you say parish? And then I ask them, what does that mean when you say county? No, I'm just joking. Are you ruled by a count? It's mild, pleasant, smooth. They say on the website, smooth. Yeah, it's smooth, easy going. I mean, would I buy it instead of Crown Royal? Yeah, because I would save $12, 11 and 12 is 23. Is it way worse than Crown Royal? No. It may be better. I doubt it, going by my memory, but it's not worse. It's not really worse. Is it aged as long as Crown Royal? How would I know? I don't know how long Crown Royal is aged. They don't say. But if you ever want to buy a winner, get Windsor Canadian. I mean, the label's sort of bland. A lot of these Canadian whiskeys have bland labels, like it's just a bunch of writing, almost like a medicine bottle, But this one's gold, black, and red. It's kind of like Royal Canadian. It's just kind of drab. And then if you look at the old labels, they're different, like from the 1970s and 80s. They're different labels, but they're the same concept. The black, the white, and the red, and the gold. And then it says supremely smooth. They always say that, supremely smooth. We'll go along with that. Crack the bottle. I'll go along with that. Now, the Bourbon Mash, Blender's Mash, Bourbon Mash. Is it something to buy? Sure is. Now it's going to cost you some more. It's going to cost more money. It's going to cost $17 more a bottle. It's a prettier bottle. I think most people would agree with that. Fancy pants bottle. Got to give Crown Royal credit. You may not like the whiskey, but the bottles are nice. Can you get plastic bottles? Yeah, some of them are plastic. In the small ones. I don't know about $17. It's almost like, I said this in a previous taste challenge. It's almost like a comparison that doesn't even make sense, because this Crown Royal Bourbon Mash is so separated, detached from what you would think of with Canadian whiskey if you have experience with Canadian whiskey. It almost like there's no relation. You got to think along the lines of comparing it to Jack Daniels or Wild Turkey bourbon, not the 101, not the 101, but like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Evan Williams, Ancient Age, Barton, very old Barton, assuming you can find it, and more than likely you can't, type thing. It's that would be a better comparison, but you say, well, you can't because you're crossing styles. You're only crossing styles in a legal sense. In a practical sense, you'd be doing this. I've been crossing styles with this whole Taste Challenge series. In a legal sense, I'm doing two of the same kind. In a practical sense, I'm not. All right. It would make a lot more practical sense to put this up against bourbons. But since it's not bourbon, I'm going up against Canadian whiskeys, because if I did it against Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and the Woodford Reserve, what would I hear on? What comments would I get every video? Why are you comparing Canadian whiskey to bourbon? You're doing it to bourbon, comparing it to bourbon. And then I'll have to go and explain the thing again. It's like, okay, do I have, and I don't feel like going through that. Of course, viewers could do some research, wouldn't kill them. I'm a viewer. I do more video watching than reviewing. And it's interesting to me to review the products, beer, wine, and liquor. I don't know why that's. I have people ask me comments like, make comments like, hey, Ron, where can I find this particular beer? I mean, why are you asking me? I don't have like a database of where beers are found. The time you spent to ask me where you could find a beer, you could have just got on the website and done the locator tool. Or even better, call the distributor. Call your local distributor. It's in the phone book. Or you say, phone book, that's the old days. Okay, well then do the new days. Look on a Google search or Yahoo. It'll give you and then call them. They'll tell you. That's my experience. Julie Gilpin says, laughing out loud. Okay, I hope you're laughing out loud about good things. All right, thanks for watching. So the Bourbon Mash, is it a winner? Yeah. Is it the winner? Yeah, it's the winner in this taste challenge. It's a winner in overall whiskey appreciation. Is it a runaway winner? No, no, no. Is it a $17 better product? I wouldn't go that far. No. She says, of course, Ron. It's very nice. I'm glad I bought it. I have no regrets. I have no holdback. There's no negative. Winner. All the way winner. Winner. Over here, it's an all the way winner, however. Approach conflict. That's the best kind of conflict to have, an approach conflict. What does that mean? Either choice you make is a good choice. And you're getting something you want. It's still a choice. You still have to make a choice. Like, oh, for lunch, I'm going to have Chinese food, and I'm going to have this green pepper beef, which I love, or I could get this fried chicken, which I love. Well, either way you choose, you're getting something you love, so there's no downside to it. And either way I choose here, I'm getting something I love. Windsor Canadian is delicious, has a great flavor. It's a great value, $10.99, all the way winner. Go for it. Crown Royal saying. Now, you could say it's a double approach avoidance in the sense that when you bring in price, okay, bring in price. All right, different story, but that's another story. That's a different conflict. Monster Mash says PM. Oh, okay. Julia Gilpin says a win-win. Yeah, that's the common term for a win-win situation. Most people don't use approach avoidance conflict. But a win-win situation is an approach conflict. Yeah, really nice. Goes down smooth, tastes great, no negatives. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no kind of complaints. There's four main types of conflicts: approach, avoidance. That's the other side of the coin, where either choice you make is terrible. Like you're going to be executed, so they say you want to be given the electric chair or shot by a firing squad. And you say, well, that's a bad choice either way I go. I don't want it. I don't want to make the choice. They said, well, it's going to happen, so you could choose. You know, it's up to you. Then you have approach avoidance, which one is good and one is bad. And then a double approach avoidance, the most common type of conflict. The most common conflict is a double approach avoidance conflict. Either choice you make has a good and bad side to it. So that would be your. That goes along with problem solving. Problem solving would involve those 4 conflicts. All right, but anyway, that's another. Maxwell, hello, Maxwell in the Russian Federation. How are you, Ron? How's the weather? I am fine. The cut on my arm is healing up. I got cut bad. You know, you can't even see it on the video. It's there, a wound. The wound. The weather's humid and cloudy. And just slightly cool, but I mean slightly cool. You might call it warm where you live, but compared to what we normally have, it's cool. PM says approach and smack. Okay. Julie says exactly. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but anyway, take care not to bump that wound, bust it wide open. Oh yeah, I'm being very careful. I had 10 stitches. They're still in my arm. The doctor said they're the kind that come out, you know, they dissolve on their own. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. I don't know about the dissolving part. Well, she's the doctor. I guess she knows what she's doing. Just agreeing with your comments regarding the win-win. Oh, okay. All right. So that's it for whiskey for a few days. And I'm not upset about that. So coming back Sunday, we'll do the Black Velvet. Boo. Boo. Versus the Bourbon Mash from Crown Royal. Yay. Yay. You might say, you're taking sides. I am taking sides based on my experience. Black Velvet was a dog, in my assessment. And Crown Royal is a true winner. So I think that's going to be a laugh riot. You say, I ain't even going to watch that. It'll be a waste of my time to watch Crown Royal Bourbon Mash whip up on Black Velvet. It probably would be a waste of your time. But you might just enjoy the beat down. I'll be enjoying it because I think that'll be the last bit of Black Velvet I have left. I don't think it's going to make it to 2 taste challenges. It might. Hopefully it won't. Then I can be done with it. No, look at that bottle again. Then I'll be so glad going into blended Scotch whiskey because I am so tired of, I mean, I'm not really tired of the Canadian whiskey. I'm not. I like trying them. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? You want to do something different. Yeah, you want to do something different. Did I cut my hand? No, I cut my arm. No, I didn't cut my arm. A shelf cut it with a razor blade backside to it. Wasn't my fault. Somebody said, how did you do that? I said, I didn't do it. The shelf did it. Probably could have had a lawsuit. You know, it was like the perfect tort, you know. You get hurt, it's not your fault. It's total negligence on the company's behalf. Any trial lawyer would be hot to take that case. It's a clear settlement. But I don't do that kind, you know, as long as I get paid, as long as I don't have to pay the doctor or the hospital, I don't care. The hospital sending me the bill. Like, why are you sending me the bill? I'm not paying for it. Send them the bill. And the people agreed to pay for it. They were like, yeah. I mean, how could they not? Who wouldn't agree? I mean, you're going to avoid a suit. But anyway. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer. Yep. Nasty whiskey, that Black Velvet. Good song, though. Yeah. Black Velvet is bleh. Yeah, I ripped my arm open on a shelf, peg sticking out at the fabric store. Bled like a stuck pig. I didn't bleed too much. But yeah, these stores, I mean, I bet you every store in America you go to, they've got some kind of like dangerous shelf. How people don't get hurt more, I don't know. Like these ragged edges, sharp edges. I mean, these trial lawyers must walk through these stores and say, whoa, whoa, you know, just waiting because it's so obvious that anybody could get cut on these things. I mean, they're just like everywhere you look. It's like sharp razor blade edge here. I mean, they're not like kind of sharp. They're like real sharp. Best lawyers, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Yeah, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe had a big. They really were doing well. Then one had a stroke in 1947. Then one had a stroke in 1970 and he died in 75. And then the other one had cancer and he died in 75. But Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, oh yeah, did very well. Left a gnarly scar. I believe that. I believe that. All right, well, that's it. We're closing out. Might be doing a beer taste challenge today, thanks to Douglas in Virginia. But it'll be recorded. It won't be live. Won't be live. No. All right. So thanks for watching this taste challenge. And we used the word challenge very lightly because it was really no challenge. In fact, no challenge involving Bourbon Mash was an actual challenge. You try it for yourself. Go spend $27.99. There's no challenge. There is no way you're going to confuse this with another Canadian whiskey. I cannot see that happening. It will not happen. It cannot happen. Cool. I'll check it out. Peace out, Ron. And peace to you. And I'm out. Y'all take care now.